how you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be showing you how you guys can get more space on your drives. If you have multiple drives, this is like the best thing you can do. Unless you're going to set up a RAID array, but if you're not into doing all that and you have other offsites or just for your mother and father-in-law, they're not going to be able to say, oh, I got to change the hard drive out because of the RAID array. Just a little bit better security as best as you can do. I mean, obviously offsite backups, NASs, and clouds are all the good way to go, but this is always good too, and this will be good for Steam too. So I got 2 hard drives in here. I got 1 terabyte for my gaming and documents, and another 2 at local C. Just for programs. So the programs only. Only thing is on my SSD is for the programs. There are 2 SSDs, both NVMe. But if you have a drive with hard drives, multiple SSDs, I mean, I always say when you have a computer, if you want to save some money, and you want to be able to store pictures and stuff like that. If you don't want to get a NAS yet, or you transfer your NAS later down the road, or just for a normal user, I mean, there's so many possibilities. Not everybody wants to spend the money for NAS, but they have extra hard drives. They'd rather get hard drives. What you can do. See, I'm a gamer. So what I like to do is I go under, where's my gaming stuff? Do I have a special look for it? Where is it? Google's mouse, pictures, program C. Where are my games? Oh, gaming. The house. So go into here. I'm going here that often because it just works every time. But look, so I got all my game platforms that I do in here, and I make folders myself, and then I put them over here. And then when I go to install, like let's say if I were to install Steam, let's go to Steam. Let's go welcome. Install Steam. I'm gonna go install. It's gonna download it right now. Just checking security. It's already literally done. Done. Next. English. Now here I'm gonna go to browse. It's already in game drive because that's already located. But if I wasn't, I would go to browse. Let's go to gaming. So I go to C gaming, and then I would go down to gaming, and I would hit the little down arrow if it wasn't already open because it already knows where to put it. And then I would select the Steam folder. Just select it. This gets added in after Steam is selected. So first, when you first do it, all you see is the name. You just hit Steam, and then you would just hit OK and install. So gaming C drive, and then that's going to be your new thing for all your games. And you'll still get the app. It'll still show up. Like my gaming section is here. So I don't have God Gaming or the other ones, but I use these ones most of all. But yeah. And you'll be able to just launch it from here and it'll work just as normal. So that's pretty dang cool. The other thing is what people like to do that for gaming. If you're a gamer, do gaming first, then files after. So for gaming, you want to type in here and type STOR, storage. You want to go to storage. And then we go to manage storage space. And then what we can do, I like the new Windows one better. So I'm just going to open up settings here. And we're going to go to STOR, storage settings. Here we go. So it's going to kind of show, what of files need to be deleted, temporary files, all that stuff. Pretty cool. But what we want to do is we want to go down to advanced storage settings. And we want to go to where new content is saved. And I'm running Windows 11 build 22H2, but this will still work in the other previous version of Windows 11. And Windows 10. So if you're still running that too. So what you're going to want to do is new games, new apps, and will be saved as. So these are games. So you only can select this. You can't select folders. Just select this, and all the Windows games that you have on the Windows Store will go there, and the new apps will be on that other SSD. Saving your SSD, your main drive, your C drive, just for operating system stuff. All that is for is just going to be for running your programs, Photoshop, all that kind of stuff, and any other video editing programs that you run, Premiere Pro, I mean, all the other stuff that you want to install, Raspberry Pi, Discord, everything's just going to be in the SSD. That's all that SSD runs, is just the programs. Also, what we can do, what I like to do if you have multiple drives, I'll have one that's for, it's always good to have a downloading one, because you have a downloading one, you don't have to worry. So with the downloading one, what you can do is you can set one drive just for downloading. So if that drive breaks for any reason, because you're going to be using a lot of stuff to it, your SSD is not going to get worn out. Because remember, SSDs only can be written and to so many times. They're like a ticking time bomb. Once they hit that mark, it's not, oh, once they do, this should be fine. It could happen. No, it is going to happen. They will die once they hit that mark. So if you can mitigate that, especially for older people or stuff like that, buy a cheap hard drive. Whatever, I mean, put it in there. I mean, hard drives are pretty cheap. It can be a 2.5 inch, a 3.5 inch. Put it in there, and once you do that, it's going to make a huge difference because that hard drive is only going to be awake when they're downloading. They're only going to be writing to the hard drive when they're downloading programs, not the SSD. So they're saving the SSD. What else you can do is get another hard drive. So you can have three hard drives. Can I have 3 hard drives? For gaming and downloads, I would always recommend those in the same folder. Oh my god, my games, the hard drive crashed and stuff. Well, big whoop. You install your games from your platforms again, you're good to go. You know what I mean? There's no critical data on that. So I put gaming and downloads on the same drive. So they're not important stuff, to be honest with you. If they're that important of stuff you downloaded, you should get them off the downloads folder anyways, off your downloads place. But you won't even have to do that. The way I'm going to show you, it'll be cool. So the next thing is, you have another drive. Let's say there's another drive here that says, you just say important documents. Another hard drive or SSD, and you're just like, important documents. So the cool thing is, that drive won't ever do anything unless you call or you're accessing a file from it. So it's going to save its lifespan, save it from booting up, it's going to go into sleep mode, and it's going to make the drive last a lot longer than if you were continuously running it by itself. So it's pretty cool, but here's the cool part. It would do that anyways if you were to manually drag stuff too, but that's always annoying, and people don't like to have to say, oh, I want this file. Let me go to this hard drive, open it up, let me put that in there, and every time I do, because I put all my pictures there. You don't have to do that. All you got to do is open this PC, right-click Pictures. So I'm going to right-click it, hit Properties, and I'm going to click Location, and we're going to put Move. It's already moved, but then you would go to this PC, My Gamings and Documents, and then on this drive it's Gamings and Documents. I'd go to Pictures. I just created a folder. It changed it automatically to this picture icon because I already set it there. So all I would do is select Pictures again. It would look like this before, and then once I select and hit select that as Pictures, and then it's going to say Pictures P, hit Apply. Then it'll give you a message. You say yes, you want to do it, and if you've already previously had stuff in this picture and you put it the other one, it'll move it over there for you. So it's cool. And then you can apply. So now this is the cool thing. I'm in Pictures here, but like if I just go to, let's just go here to show you this way. So if I go to Pictures, this is Pictures, but it's not on the C drive. It's on the other drive. But that's where it sends everything to, without you having to do anything. You download things from online. Let's just see Pictures. Let's just go to Goku. We'll go to a picture image. Okay, let's just say this. That's not really an image. Let's go to, that's from a store. Let's just go to, here we go. Let's go here. And then we'll right click it. And we'll go to Save Image As. And then I can go to this PC and go to Pictures. It is, save it. Saving. It is in Pictures here. This is the one right here. I think it's going to take me to, probably should have saved it in an actual file because it's going to be like that. Oh wait, or maybe it's not done yet. Let's just make sure it's not done yet. There it is. Oh yeah, so it is. Yeah, so it is. There it is. Right there. Right there. It's in there, Pictures. But it's really, boom, Pictures, right there. That's where it goes. So I don't have to do anything. You set this up for your mother and father-in-law. They just keep using the computer like normal and stuff, saving their documents. But really, remember, their documents are, if we go to here, check this out, their documents are really in this drive. And I even put desktop. You can do desktop too. Let's all know this. Old people like to put stuff on their desktops and clutter, and they don't figure out about saving it. They make their folders, all their pictures and stuff there instead of putting it in proper folder locations. We all know this. But now you can back up the desktop in case the hard drive crashes, their SSD crashes, or something bad happens. You're like, oh, don't worry. I backed up your desktop stuff too. So if I go like desktop here, it's going to have these 2 folders that I made. So it'll have all their pictures and everything would be fine. So you don't have to worry. It's just really cool. So every one of these is the same. So if we go back to here, all these are the same. Downloads, right click it, properties. We go to location. We go to move, and that's going to change it. But when you open it up, it's automatically going to be there as if it's, oh, this is really from the other drive. This is from this drive. It's not from this one. So it's really cool. I mean, it saves, I don't know how many problems. You're just like, oh, especially if you're going to back up people's computers and stuff, this kind of helps you a lot. So let's say you're a guy that you're like, oh, I'm going to put the new OS. Oh, there's a problem with your operating system. You're like, oh, God, now I got to back up all their files and make sure they're all, nope, you don't have to do any of that. All you do is do a fresh install on the C drive. Then once everything's set up and all the programs are installed you want, all you do is go right-click, properties, move pictures to the old pictures file on the other drive again. Boom, everything's there again. Everything's back. Desktop, boom, all their desktop stuff comes back again. It's so easy. It cuts the middleman out. You just gotta watch it. I mean, these drives will last a lot longer if they're not having to do much. Obviously, the gaming and downloading ones will. But, I mean, I have a laptop. It only fits 2 NVMe's in it, so I'm kind of out of luck with that. But I have my own cloud anyway, so I can store stuff too if I want to. I basically have, like, no documents on here anyways, other than game stuff anyways. I mean, usually it comes off on my cloud quickly as possible anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But, yeah. This is going to make it where you guys can really save some space, especially with games. Like, I want my C drive. Your C drive will always work fast then, because all it's doing is running programs. There isn't game files bogging it down or any of that stuff. Plus, if you're a big gamer on the go or just at home and you want a big drive, that's the way I would do it, is just get a huge drive and have all your gaming stuff on this and just install it to that drive right off the bat and you should be good to go. But that's kind of self-explanatory, because these ones are the cool ones where you can have another drive that, if let's say you game and you do a lot of document writing and you're like, well, God, I hate for these files to get messed up and I don't want to spend the money for a NAS, but I have another drive laying around. It's a good drive. Or you're like, you know what, this drive is only going to be for my documents. I think $1,000 1 terabyte should be more than enough. What is that, like 50, 40 bucks now? You're like, yeah, I can spend that, but I don't feel like spending a whole NAS yet. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw that in there, so I'll have another drive, and I'll call this drive my important documents. So if you want to rename a drive, you just go here and you can type out a new name for it, and you be, I want this important documents. And then you would go down, let's just pretend that we have a folder here, and we would go to new. Or I don't do it that way. Well, let's just say this. Pretend that, it's hard. I want to show you guys if I had another drive. Let's just see here. We'll go here. Let's pretend that this drive right here is blank. There's nothing in here. So all you would do is you would make folders, say videos, pictures, music, downloads. We'll put downloads here. Remember, this is important drive. Documents, and desktop. Now, if you're one of those users who like to throw a lot to the desktop, like, you know how some people, they download files directly to the desktop, then you might want to put that on the drive, the desktop on the drive with the, what is it called? Gosh darn it. Yeah, with the games and downloads. You might want to put desktop in there, because it's going to be getting a lot of written to. Sometimes people file transfer to desktop. But for family members, you might as well just put it on important, because I don't know how many times I see this, just picture folders, oh, these are these picture folders, oh, they're here. It's like, put them in the pictures folders, then you organize them in there. But sometimes they don't, so it's better to be safe than sorry with family members. With yourself, when you know, it's different. But older people, it's just better to have that multiple drive kind of protection for them. I don't know how many times it's saved me with my grandma, and she'll call me, well, this guy said I had a virus on my computer, so I logged into my computer. And I'm like, oh, grandma, we gotta wipe that whole drive now. There's all this, nope, I don't know what he did, we just gotta wipe it. Nope, not paying him whatever he wanted. Don't pay him. And it's like, oh, okay. 4 times that happened. I was tired of it. Now I have, I was smart, and I always had her files on, like, here. So pictures are in this other hard drive. Never had the problem. And I have it protected, too. You can also protect these drives, too, if you want to, and have encryption on them and all that stuff, too, so that people can't, BitLocker on them and stuff, take them or steal them or something. If you take them out, if somebody steals your computer, you can BitLocker it, too. I mean, we have to have professional. You have to have Windows 10 Professional or Windows 11 Professional to be able to do BitLocker. And then you can, so if somebody steals your computer, your files are safe. I mean, might not be able to get them back, but nobody's going to be able to post them or steal your important documents or any of that stuff on it. So that's pretty cool, too. But yeah, I do these videos. Sorry, this is a little longer. I mean, it might have been a little boring for you, but the cool thing is you can have drives to just better protect yourself. It isn't foolproof, but it's definitely a smarter idea than just keeping them all in one drive. Your important stuff on the C drive with your programs, because the C drive can have corruptions, might be restarted wrong, your kid's playing it, hit it too many times. Yeah, and if you can too, I mean, unless you have a lot of files, get an SSD one. Then if it drops or whatever, you don't have to worry, because, you know, mechanical drives are cheaper. So when you get into those bigger storages, the most sense makes is to get a mechanical. If you just want the speed, you're like, well, 500 gigs to be the most for my documents and my pictures and maybe some music. Or if you're like a terabyte, those are still not that bad of a deal. You're like, yeah, I can afford the SSD for it. But if you have like 2, 3, 4 terabytes, it might be cheaper if you can't fit it in your laptop or, you know, your desktop. Because some laptops now, they just can't line 4 SSDs in there. That is crazy. But yeah, this is just better to help you keep your stuff safe. Mostly would probably be more sensible to use it in a desktop build. That's because you can have more hard drives than you can in the laptop. But even for a laptop like me, 2 drives. I have one just for the C drive, because I really don't store that important stuff on this laptop, just for editing. But I want the computer to work fast every time. I want it to run good. And if I can't play my games, then big whoop. I can always make new folders here if this drive dies and I really need to create a document really quick. Create a new folder here, name it Pictures. And then I would just go here and go to Properties and make sure that's off. Oops. Okay, we got Pictures here. Then we would go to Location again. And then we would go to Move, and then you go to this piece, and we go to Desktop. That's on Desktop, and then I would select this and hit Apply, and it would move Pictures over to there, to that. Then this one would have the Pictures icon. So that icon right here, this folder automatically changed because that's the new picture location, and it would change, and then we'd be good to go. That's the cool thing about this. I obviously don't need that, so we'll get rid of that. Perfect. But alright guys, hey, I do these videos for you guys, wanted you guys to have, you know, a cooler way to protect your data. I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. I tried it so many different ways, but yeah, the good news is the more drives you have, the more better you're off. But it's still not gonna, you know, fully protect you. NAS, RAIDs, offsite backups, cloud storage are always the way to go. But for older people that just don't want to spend the money and don't want to waste your time, and they still want their stuff a little bit protected, that is the way to go. You can't have the external drives, but the big problem with the external drives is a lot of times the interfaces can die or the cords go bad, and a lot of those hard drives, unless they're spec models, like this one right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. This one this is a Seagate one. It comes off. You can replace it if the connector, and it has the SATA connections right here. But a lot of the companies, I don't know if they even make this type of version anymore. I mean, it's pretty cool, depending if you can still find these pieces, but you can always take the hard drive out of these ones. Some companies, oh god, if it's fully enclosed and you can't do that, a lot of times that USB header is on the actual drive itself. So even if you were to take the portable drive apart because the header or the connector went bad, you can't plug it into your computer still unless you resolder a new header on, or hopefully you have to resolder a new header. If the header's not working, then you have to resolder a new header on, and good luck with that. Not everybody can do that, and you're kind of in poop creek by that time. So you just got to protect your data, and every way you can. It doesn't hurt. I mean, the more ways you do, the better off you are. That's what they say. And remember, iCloud is not a backup. Even Apple says from Apple themselves on their page, look it up, they will even tell you that they recommend iCloud is not a backup, and that you should have another copy other than iCloud of your stuff that's not on your phone. So think of it that way. So hey, remember, data is important, and if your data gets destroyed a certain way, not even the richest person in the world can get their data back. So remember that. I mean, there is options. You can pay, but sometimes data's gone, and it's gone for good. No matter how rich or how much money you have, it can never be remembered. Those pictures can never be retaken again. So just remember that. Everybody, I hope you guys are having a rock and rollin' day. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.